Good morning. How's it going? I'm Terry Jensen. I'm the pastor of First Baptist Church here in Plano, Illinois, and I welcome you to Through the Week. Just a little bit so that I'm in the center. I like being in the center of things. Yes. This is our Tuesday edition of or today's Wednesday, isn't it? I went to the doctor yesterday. And I said, doctor, no. I said, I've been having some problems. And the doctor said to me, he says, well, are you forgetting things? And I said, no, I don't think so. And she goes, what day is it? And I said, Wednesday? She goes, no, it's Tuesday. I thought, oh man, I'm forgetting things. So today is the Wednesday edition of Through the Week, and I'm really glad to see you here. And I hope that you're enjoying coming and visiting with me. We've been talking about Jesus' Sermon on the Mount, and so far we've gone through some things. And for the last several days, actually pretty much all week long, we've been camping on the idea of not being anxious over anything and the causes of being anxious. What makes you anxious? Well, expectations make you anxious. Uh, the idea that you're not satisfied with what you have. Uh, Wanting more, the desire of more, 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 more. It's that old Henry Ford thing. Reporter asked him, Mr. Ford, when will you have enough money? And he replies, $1 more. And it's always like that, isn't it? It's always one thing after another. But today we're going to start looking at something a bit different. And this is going to point a finger in your nose, and hopefully it will convict you and maybe even make you mad. So let's get on to it. Matthew writes in chapter 7, verses 1 through 3. Don't pick on people. Jump on their failures. Criticize their faults, unless, of course, you want the same treatment. That critical spirit has a way of boomeranging. It's easy to see a smudge on your neighbor's face and be oblivious to the ugly sneer on your own. This comes from The Message. I like the way Eugene Peterson puts this. He just kind of lays it out there plain and simple. You can criticize and denigrate folks all you want to, but try walking a mile in their shoes. Try doing their job. Try being them for a little bit, living their lives. You have no idea what's going on in their heads, what's in their hearts. But we are such judgmental and critical creatures that often it could just be a look standing in the grocery store, waiting in line, and seeing an elderly person fumbling about their purse and their effects to try to get out enough money to pay the bill, and everybody's sitting there going, you know, come on. It's not her fault. She's not doing that to you on purpose. But it's easy to take a look at other people and criticize them and be totally oblivious to the mess that you're in. You, you understand what I'm saying? Let's go back to that verse and let's read it again because it is an important thing to understand and to appropriate. Don't pick on people. Don't pick on people. Don't be mean. Don't be nasty. Jump on their failures. Criticize their faults. Now, who among us has always been successful in everything they've ever done? Who among us? Not me. Certainly not me. Shoot, I can't even keep on a diet, much less try to solve the world's problems, you know. I know people, well, I don't know them personally, but I know of people who attempt to solve the world's problems and do a wonderful job. And I've known of others who just fail miserably. The problem is that we look and we oftentimes think, oh, I could have done a better job than that. Really? Could you? Could you have done a better job than that? Maybe, maybe not. So, why just abjectly pick on that person? Huh? Why just nail them for everything you can? I have to admit that even though I'm talking out there into, the online internet sphere, right now I'm looking at myself. I'm seeing myself playback. And I have to admit that it's sometimes too difficult. And what's really incredible about this statement is that I can do that same kind of thing. I can pick on somebody. I can call them an idiot and dumb, even stupid. I can even say that, oh, that's Aristophanes' dream right there. And he lasts forever. And not consider what I'm saying or how I act from time to time. And isn't that at the heart of how we judge? It's kind of two sides of the same coin, right? We criticize others for the way that they think, or the way that they act, or the way that they speak, even the way that they dress. They may be super fat. I know it's not really nice to call somebody fat, but we do. That's how we talk. Somebody may be incredibly obese, and we judge them. Do we ever consider, before judging that individual, that there might be an underlying medical condition for that? Or do we just simply think that they're too lazy to stop eating, or just unwilling to check themselves? Is that possibly it? Sometimes we think about people who are elderly, like myself, and like myself, don't do a whole lot of physical labor, and folks they just write us off as being a lazy old person or feeble. Well, I went through cancer. And to be quite honest with you, physically, I never came back. Not to the degree that I was prior to having cancer. I get tired more easily, all kinds of different things. And I can't do the same kind of stuff that I used to. But here it is. That's one side of the coin, right? On the other side of the coin, I can criticize people for being the same way. And I can judge them for being the same way. And I go, bam! What a dope! Why do you do that kind of dumb stuff? And then if somebody does it to me, I get all incensed. I'm upset. I'm ready to go to war and fight and argue and just be mean and nasty. And then I don't consider the fact that I just got through 2 minutes ago doing the same thing. Again, taking a look, that critical spirit has a way of boomeranging. It does, doesn't it? It has a way of boomeranging, coming back and boom, hitting you. There is a cure. Well, I shouldn't really say there's a cure. There is a process that you can apply to yourself to minimize the damage. And with enough discipline and enough diligence and enough sincerity to really not want to be that kind of person that constantly judges somebody else, you can be quite objective, sincere, genuine, and then become gentle in your spirit toward other people. And that process begins with understanding this, is that part of the human condition lies a sinful need to judge others and be critical so that we can lift up our own self-esteem. But if you'll begin by understanding in terms of your self-esteem, if you'll begin by understanding that you were created by God, you were created in His image, you were made with a specific purpose, and your creation is the culmination, is the apex of God's creation. You can begin there. And then you can start to, like an onion, peel away the layers of guilt, the layers of judgment, the layers of expectation, the layers of criticism. And you can begin to see that these layers, they just bind you to a certain type of thinking. But as you free yourself from these, you begin to open your mind to something that is far greater. The scope of your ability to become human again is limitless. And that comes through Christ. There's a process in James 1, that lets you know how sin, through temptation, enters a person and begins to control them. And its end goal, its end game is your death. You don't have to submit any longer to sin. As a believer in Jesus Christ, that's one of those wonderful things that happens when you come to know Jesus Christ as your Savior. You come to understand and be changed, transformed through the renewing of your mind. You become transformed and you begin to live a new life. Now, wouldn't you like that? Wouldn't you like to have a new life? A second chance? Maybe to correct some of the things that you wish you hadn't done before. Be the type of person that you were. Because there is that opportunity. We're going to talk some more about this tomorrow. So, I'll catch you later. Be blessed. and consider Jesus. Consider this passage in Matthew 7, verses 1 through 3. God bless you. See you later.